A very good morning, students of class 8. Today we will discuss and try to learn History chapter 5, Decline of the Mughal Empire. You see in this map, the entire this colored one, during the rule of Aurangzeb, this entire area is ruled by Aurangzeb. He was busy in about 50 years he had ruled. And in the we see that in the 50 years will divide 25 years he was busy to conquer this northern area, northern part of India. After defeating and conquering, he had concentrated completely in the South India another 15 years till his death, and he had died in Ahmednagar here in South India. So let's we had studied about the great Mughal Empire and now came to an end. And here in the chapter we will discuss a period of transition. Transition means changes took place from one rule to another rule. The transitions from the Mughal to the modern period began with the decline of the Mughal Empire in the first half of the 18th century. Means we see after the Aurangzeb, those who became the Mughals, they known as the later Mughals, they were weak and incapable. So gradually they lived a comfort life. So they were have not concentrated on their treacheries. So that the British were conquered to areas and gradually declined. This was followed by the English East India Company's territorial conquest and the beginning of the political domination of India in the middle of the 18th century. The modern period in India is generally regarded as have begun in the mid 18th century. Mid 18th century that started when British East India Company came to in India, and gradually they started to conquer the territory of the Mughals. During the first half of the 18th century, the great Mughal Empire decayed. Decayed means completely declined, means nast ho gaya, and the disintegrated the Mughal emperor lost their power and glory, and their vast empire finally shrank to a few square miles around Delhi. The unity and stability of the Mughal Empire had already been shaken during Aurangzeb's long reign of about 50 years. As I have told you, he had a ruler here mostly 50 years ruled of the Mughal Empire. The death of Aurangzeb, the last of the great Mughals, was followed by a war of succession among his three sons. Bahadur Shah eventually ascended the throne in 1707 at the age of 65. He became the first in a line of emperors referred to as the later Mughals. Means after the Aurangzebs, whoever became a ruler of Mughal empire, they known as the later Mughals. And these all ruled though they had not able to save, because Aurangzeb had made so many enemies and rebels, because he was a completely Kattar Islam, and he was all the Hindus and other religious people appointed by the Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, he had removed to them. So the Marathas, Rajputs, and other their generals only became a enemy of the Aurangzeb, because quite many Hindu rulers were unhappy with the Aurangzeb because he had imposed about jizya tax and pilgrimage tax. So the people were unhappy with them, and even his own generals were appointed into different areas. They were also rebel against the Aurangzeb. We see the list of the later Mughals 1707 to 1857. So here see that first was that first son Bahadur Shah ruled 1707 to 1712. Second, Jahandar Shah 1712 to 13, only 1 years. And the Farooq Siyar 1713 to 19. Then Muhammad Shah 1719 to 48. And then fifth Ahmad Shah 1748 to 1754. And then Alamgir second 1754 to 59. Then second seventh Shah Alam second 1759 to 1806. 8 Akbar second 1806 to 1837, and the last ruler that was Bahadur Shah Zafar 1837 to 1500, 1857. We know this fellow by that exiled from that British. They have defeated him and sent to exile to Rangoon, the capital of Myanmar. There he had died in 1862. Here we have to see the reasons for the decline of the Mughal Empire. You can see the picture of Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal ruler. He had been during we had studied about revolt 1857. During that time, he had led to the revolt, so the Britishers had defeated and then killed in front of his eye only two of his sons, and he had exiled to Rangoon, Myanmar. Several factors were responsible for the disintegration of and eventual collapse of the once powerful and mighty Mughal Empire. There we'll see the first policies in the Mughal court. There were four groups of nobles in the Mughal court: Iranis, Turanis, Afghans, and Hindustanis. These four type of the nobles. Nobles in the court of the Mughal Empire. They were rich fellows, and they were very brilliant and helping to the Mughal rulers. Among four, there were sometimes quarrel taking place. The Iranis hailed from Persia. Persia means Iran. The Turanis from the Transylvania, and the Afghan came from the mountainous border region across the river Indus. The Mughal court was a house sharply divided from within. This resulted in the constant struggle for power among these groups. Their mutual jealousies and rivalries caused great harm to the Mughal administration and undermined the prestige and authority of the Mughal Empire. Means among these there were constantly struggle were taking place. They were argumenting, they were disagreeing, they were quarreling, and they were trying to show their own supremacy. So during these activities, all that Mughal Empire lost the prestige and their whatever the eminent powers they have lost, and lost that love and concern from the people, and especially the Hindus were unhappy with the rule of Aurangzeb. So gradually whatever he maintained, but later Mughals could not able to the save, though they have more than 100 years rule, but their rules were small times of duration. So students kindly read, and next class we will discuss another topic. Go through your lesson. Thank you so much.